and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? But can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Yes, indeed, it is Friday, and so we made it through the week. Almost. We got one more day to go through, and we are glad that you joined us on this Friday episode of Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you. And Ty, got a lot kind of to get to today on this Friday edition. We got a lot of games to recap from last night, a lot of games to pick for tonight and tomorrow over the weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to talk about all the games going on over the course of the weekend. As we know, there is a ton, including games on Sunday. So don't be anywhere this weekend because we're going to have you covered on the network.
Let's dive right into the last night's recap. Now, you know what? Before we do that, because yesterday's show was so jam-packed, you know what we forgot to do?
Check.
Our Baird Brothers Price is Right challenge.
Yeah, we did. We completely forgot to do that.
So let's just do this. At the end of Wednesday's show, it was at 45,874. So now this is like end of the week. There's no more, we'll just do it tomorrow. So right now it's just straight up who's closest to where it's at right now. Forget about going over or going under. So it was at the end of Wednesday's show, 45,874. So now we're going to guess where it is at this very moment, and whoever's closest wins the week. And you want me to go first, right?
Yeah, go first. We have to guess what it's at right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's averaging about 9 per day, so that's 54. I'm going to say 61,000.
I think they might be a little bit higher. I was going to say I'll actually give you a lot. I'll go 68,000. Give me 68,000. So I'll give you 7,000 in between. I think I got above 68.
You are the winner today. I'll get you their total, but it is over 70,000.
Oh, wow. So they really brought it. They're even higher than what I thought they would be.
The girls are at 50,063. And the boys are at 29,508.
Boys, you fell behind a lot, but it is Friday though, so boys basketball very heavily featured on the network tonight. So we might see a spike in the boys voting, but it looks like right now girls with a comfortable lead to take week 1.
Making your total right now 71,021 votes for boys and girls combined.
Nice job by the fans. Almost 100,000 vote day the first week. 70,000, great number. And we still got basketball tonight, basketball tomorrow before it ends. So it's going to be a lot of time to get some votes in and a lot of time to a chance to see these players on both the lists.
You know, there's still plenty of time to get out and vote and get through 100,000 too.
Oh yeah, I think with Friday and Saturday being huge vote days, get out there, vote again, and keep on voting, and get your friends to vote, share the post, and get everyone out there to get your favorite athlete, Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Week, week 1. as you have a chance, honestly, I think, to pretty much see every single one of these players on our list in action Friday and Saturday. So, I mean, get out there and watch on our network, or get out there in person and support at these schools. But go out there and see these athletes if you need a little bit more help deciding on who to vote for.
And then next week, for the first time in basketball season, we'll be able to talk to the winners of Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley on this show.
Yeah, and we're going to be excited to do that as well, to continue what we were doing for football and volleyball season, as just continuing what we've already set forth here on Running Point.
All right, so now let's get to last night's recaps, and I want to start with what might have been the most thrilling victory of the night. There were two that kind of fight for the spot, but I always go for the ones that go to extra basketball first, right? Go into overtime, that's always exciting. Girard gets the 44-42 victory over Jefferson in overtime. Big win for the Indians. Neither one of us no, we both picked Girard, right? We both picked Girard, and they barely escaped.
It was quite a game last night by two NE8 foes, as we knew it was going to be a tough conference, and that's just scary because they still have to play each other, I believe, one more time too. Yep. Jefferson and Girard. So
we Noah Ricks, our very own Noah Ricks, had the chance to talk to Coach Saxon after this game and the win for Girard. So we are going to hear what Coach Saxon had to say about Girard's victory in overtime over Jefferson.
Okay, so how does it feel to get your first win in the conference of the year?
Oh, it's a big win. We're 0-1, now we're 1-1. Hopefully we can roll off a few more. We have 2 more big games coming up before we have a non-league game, so hopefully we win those 2.
Of course, you have your player, Abby Rafferty, finishing with 13. So what do you think helped Girard there in that overtime period?
Well, I think the first half we played real timid. We weren't attacking the hoop, and we were basically going horizontally. So I just said, take the ball to the hoop, they're up in your face, but we got to play vertically. You can't just you're making it easy for the defense when you go horizontally. So we started to take the ball to the hoop a little bit better, and we started to get some putbacks, and we made some baskets. We shot pretty well from the free throw line. It's definitely a plus in a close game.
And of course, after that heartbreaking loss against Lakeview on Monday, how does it feel to get back in the win column?
Oh, it's real exciting. We lost our point guard for a few weeks, our leading scorer, leading rebounder, and that was an adjustment. And we almost got that game, but I think the girls made a really good adjustment without having her run the point. My other 2 girls who ran the point did a real nice job. It's just an adjustment when you lose your best scorer, your best player probably, and the girls rebounded back.
Okay, you got a game on Monday at Hubbard, and of course the Eagles are definitely no slouch. How will you prepare?
No, we're going to come out. We're going to try to play baseline to baseline and run them and move the ball up and down the floor, and hopefully those shots fall for us.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck Monday.
Thank you so much.
That was Andrew Saxon after Girard's win over Jefferson in overtime, 44-42. Man, they were rocking in Girard too, man. They had the stereo cranking. They were partying.
Yeah, as Girard with a big win last night too in NE8 play. As it's been up and down season for a lot of these teams, but still there's 2 teams that are standing strong, undefeated so far. It's still Poland and South Range, but we already know that's got to change here soon.
We're going to talk about that a little bit later when we recap their games. But the next big, I guess you use a big exciting game on the network was in LeBray, as Garfield beat LeBray on a buzzer beater 40-39, and it was Madeline Shirky with the winning shot at the buzzer to give the G-Men a 40-39 victory over LeBray.
Yeah, big win for the Lady G-Men too over LeBray in the buzzer beater fashion. They know how to have a party and make a good time over there.
Well, I'll tell you, if you go over to Garfield's athletic Twitter account and watch the video of this shot, and you see Coach Gilbert's reaction, then you know they were partying, because he's like high stepping down the sideline when the shot goes in. It's just one of those great moments in basketball that a team might have happened once in a season where they hit like a buzzer beater or a game-winning shot, it doesn't happen extremely often for a team, and it's a big momentum boost when it does.
It's definitely a cool moment too when it does happen as well for athletes. As you can't quite explain it. It's right up there with the walk-off home runs. It's something that's really just a special feeling.
A walk-off, yeah, you're right. The walk-off grand slam.
It's big too. It's a moment that doesn't happen very often, and I mean that's part of what makes it so special.
Okay, Ty. So since you teased it earlier, let's go talk about Poland and the South Range and what they were able to do last night. I was in Poland, and it was a tale of two halves. That's just a simple way to put it. Very competitive game in the first half. Both teams kind of a ugly, slow offense where they were just trying to be patient, work the ball inside. Not a ton of terrible turnovers, just kind of slow offense that were, trying to work the ball and not really finding a lot of room with this suffocating defense. 20-17, Poland led at halftime. And they came out, I don't know what Coach Blanche told them in the locker room, but they came out and won the third quarter something like 18-3.
That's what they do. That's what they've been able to do since really the start of the season. The third quarter has been a huge quarter for Poland, as a lot of games have been close going into halftime that Poland's been in this year. But for some reason, like you said, Coach Blanche getting the right adjustments and saying the right things to his team to get them fired up enough, because the third quarter, I think Poland has won every single third quarter they've played this season.
And Poland won the second half 31-13. They rolled to a 51-30 victory over Struthers.
Yeah, and you know what? Coach Nieder and the Lady Wildcats always going to be competitive in that NE8, and that's still a great program that you're going against. And even through up years and down years, we know that Fieldhouse is always producing good basketball teams on both sides.
Leading the Bulldogs was Connie Kugris with 19 points. Mary Brandt chipped in 11. Chloe Nieder led the Wildcats with 11. I believe Struthers was down a couple players because they really only rotated 6. And that's
early in the season too. That's going to happen as well. So I mean, that's why you have the tournament runs as well. So and that's why second matchups with teams are always so exciting, because you almost never see these teams at full strength, and you don't see usually what they always can offer to the table, everything they can bring to the table that are showcased in those games. So it's fun.
We go back to South Range. They were able to take their defense to Cortland, and Coach Haney talked about their defense. Coach Fischel talked about their defense yesterday. 16 points they gave up to Lakeview in a 35-16 victory. Yeah, their offense, like Coach Fischel said yesterday as well, their offense hasn't quite figured out scoring yet, but when their defense is playing like it is, they really don't have to. And 35-16, Lexi Giles has 20 of the 35 points to lead, and the Raiders roll to a 3-0 record inside the NE8.
Pretty similar what Lakeview's going through, kind of what South Range is. They got to figure out how to score some nights, and some nights are good, some nights are bad. But another credit, though, Lakeview holding South Range under 40 points, holding them to 35. That's a good defensive performance on Lakeview's side. Just got to figure out a few things offensively, but I think Coach Haney's doing a great job over there and getting the girls. They're obviously improving from last year, and you can see the improvements on the court.
So we talked about all season long how this NE8 was going to be wide open, and then teams were going to be able to compete with South Range and Poland maybe this year. And here we are, 3 games in. I know it's early. This 3 games into the conference season, and South Range and Poland are the only 2 that are undefeated in the conference. 3-0, 3-0. Now they both have to play each other on Monday, which could open the door for another team, because Gerard has 2 losses, I believe, though. Jefferson has 2 losses now. So a lot of these teams are already digging themselves holes. And you see South Range and Poland kind of flexing their muscles and saying not so fast.
Yeah, we'll see, but every team's got to play 14 conference games. Right. So, I mean, there's a lot of room for error to happen in those games. So I'm interested to see the second matchups too, because I want to see, I don't think Girard, I don't think Jefferson, and I don't think Lakeview get beat necessarily the same ways. And on the other side, I don't think Hubbard plays the same way against Poland like they did the first time. I think there's adjustments. I think it's a little bit of shock realizing that Poland and South Range can still be what they are, and that these are great programs. They weren't great teams from last year. These are great programs that consistently produce great teams because of the people that work inside of them. But right now, yeah, they're coming out as 2 clear favorites. South Range has been very impressive, and I do want to give them credit. I want to give Coach Fischel all the credit for what he's doing over there and getting him back on track after 2 hard games. But for me, I don't know how you can't be most impressed with what Poland's doing over there in the NE8 right now. I mean, running a gauntlet, losing your biggest scorer, but like Coach Blanche said, I mean, there's still good players on this team, and it's not like you were left with nothing. This is still a good Lady Bulldogs team.
I showed up in the gym last night, and in warm-ups, Poland were wearing shirts that said Poland versus everyone. It's like, I love it. They are taking the fact that people counted them out before the season started very personally.
Connie Kugras is a pretty big dog that's happening over there right now for Poland too, stepping up in huge ways, not just in the box score, but I mean just on the pass, on the defensive and off-ball movement-wise, always just getting her teammates involved, and I think that's a huge aspect to have for a player in your team.
We talked about Hubbard. They won over Niles 39-25 to try to keep pace. They only have 1 loss in the NE8, so after Monday they're going to be tied. I mean, if they take care of Girard, that is. If Hubbard wins against Girard, and after Monday, someone in that South Range Poland matchup has to lose. So Hubbard could be sitting in that 2 spot, tied with whoever loses that game if Hubbard plays their cards right.
Yeah, and you know what? Hubbard not looking too bad either on the girls' side of things, as we knew this NE8 was going to be competitive too. And for a lot of teams, they've been picking up wins, they've been picking up losses, but it seems like a lot of teams right now have at least a win and a loss inside the NE8.
We knew the MVAC Scarlet tier would be open. That was one of the things we also talked about. Springfield kicked the door open last night, 55-36. They beat McDonald, last year's MVAC champion. And the Tigers, 2 big wins this week. They might be sending a statement to the rest of the MVAC.
Yeah, no doubt. As the Scarlet side of things, really it's being well represented with Springfield being the powerhouse, it looks like, at least in the early going on the girls side of things. But I still want to see those Jackson Milton matchups. I want to see the Waterloo matchups. Heck, I even want to see the Western Reserve matchups too. I think there's a lot of great matchups that happen inside that Scarlet division.
It's going to be very interesting how that develops later on in the year. We look at some other scores. Beaver Local beat Harrison Central 32-28. Close one in the Beaver country. We look at Liberty. They took care of Crestview 69-40, but that is under 70, which Liberty hadn't been held under 70 in a couple of games. So Crestview, you got that.
Yeah, Liberty still proving to be very, very impressive.
Champion beats Newton Falls 48-18. United takes care of Wellsville 59-11. This is one you got on me. I'll tip the hat to you. Pymatuning Valley beat Badger 58-45.
Yeah, and I mean Badger's still competitive within it, but Pie Valley, I believe, was either 4-1 or 4-0 going into this game, and they were rolling. So, going to be a team we'll have to watch out for. I'm pretty sure they make an appearance on some other of YSN team schedules.
We both picked Edison, and they got the 47-32 win over East Liverpool.
Good job, Coach Smith and his girls.
Waterloo got the 10-point win over Lowville in a game where in the first half Lowville shot really well. Good defensive adjustments by the Vikings at halftime. They shut down Savannah Prochik, who had a really good first half. In fact, it was tied at 29 at the half. English and Counts both had really good nights. They had combined for 32 points, and the Vikings get the 10-point win over Lowville.
Yeah, this is a Lady Vikings team I'm going to be excited to kind of cover throughout the season, because I think Counts and English together are going to make a deadly 1-2 combo for a lot of teams and what they can do, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well. And they can move the ball. Both can handle the ball as well. So like Jackson Milton, 7 girls on the roster, but 7 girls strong are the Lady Vikings.
Southern beat East Palestine last night, 50-17.
Yeah, Southern still proving to be big names inside that EOAC, getting a victory.
Louisville continues to roll. They take care of Massillon, Washington, 65-44.
Yeah, get out of the Lady Leopards way over there in Louisville country. That's a great team over there as well, and a team that might be vying for a number 1 seed soon in the rankings.
You're not kidding. Leopards are now 6-1 on the year. Lisbon gets the 53-51 victory over Latonia in the Bears Den. Could be considered an upset. I know it's hard to say upsets early in the season, but Latonia came in 4-1 on the year. They were kind of getting their wins against the EOAC opponents other than United. That was their only loss, is to United. And Lisbon was kind of struggling this year. They came into Latonia, though. The quick flip, if it was supposed to be a home game for Lisbon, it got moved to Latonia last minute, and it didn't phase the Blue Devils. They get the impressive win over Latonia, 53-51.
Yeah, credit to Lisbon and the Lady Blue Devils over there for getting the win over a Latonia team that has been doing really, really good as of late. So big win against EOAC opponents, and congratulations to Lisbon.
That's going to be a loss that the Bears look back at later in the season, and it might hold them back from competing for the top spot in the EOAC. Columbiana, they take care of Valley Christian, 52-25. Big win, 53-25, excuse me. Big win for the Clippers.
This was a game I thought about picking Columbiana too, and I remember saying yesterday that we should, and we both picked Valley.
Are we gonna do it? I have to do it, right?
Yeah.
It's my bet.
I'm sorry, Lady Clippers. I will stop doubting you. You keep proving me wrong every single time, and I keep picking against you, and I need to stop. We need to really, just pay respects to what the Columbiana program's doing over there. Lady Clippers are having a very good start to the season, beating some pretty good programs.
Jackson Milton got the win over Middle Ridge, 71-31. Kylie Wilson with 27 points. Ava Darney with 16. Kelsey Williams with 14. And Carla Blancafort with 14 as well. So a very balanced offense paves the way for Jackson Milton in a 40-point victory over the Rams.
If Blancafort could start contributing double digits in that box score on top of what Darney, Williams, and Wilson are going to do, oh my goodness, that's a Jackson Milton offense. Same thing like Waterloo, 7 girls, but 7 talented girls strong. That Jackson Milton squad's going to be.
Blancafort, if you don't know, is the did come over from Spain, and I was talking to some other parents, and they were like, "Hey, you have viewers from Spain, just so you know, because her parents are going to be tuned into the Ysn broadcast when Jackson Milton is on." So we are so happy that we have viewers from Spain, and we hope they enjoy our broadcast very much when Carla and the Lady Blue Jays are on YSN.
Yeah, we love it. We love that we're being viewed all over the world too, and we have supporters supporting these student athletes all over the world. I think it's really cool.
Hola, España. ¿Cómo estás? So yeah, we're happy, and then those are the scores from last night. Ty, one of the ones that really, I think the one that really stuck out to me was Springfield beating McDonald the way they did. I mean, not just like barely beat. I mean, this was an emphatic kind of years of being put down by McDonald, and the frustration of trying to beat McDonald kind of just bubbled to the surface and just erupted.
Wasn't there something going on with the coaching staffs of Springfield and McDonald going on with that as well?
I think there was, some kind of connection between the coaches. Maybe they coached with each other before. I don't know.
Maybe someone trying to stick it to the old man too with a win too. But no, the Matthies both obviously, as we're talking about, coaching in this one, and
a Shakespearean battle in that Springfield McDonald matchup, and we all know how father versus son always goes in Shakespeare. Doesn't ever work out too well for the father.
Yeah, as coming away with the victory, it is Springfield and the Lady Tigers, but I'm sure McDonald will be back, and we know. I'm sure Coach Matthies on the McDonald side is, I'm sure, going to have something to say about it.
Tony Matthies is happy that it didn't happen before Thanksgiving, so he doesn't have to deal. He didn't have to deal with that
Yeah, at the dinner. He's got a few weeks before Christmas, so he
Right.
wants to hear about it so as much.
He gives Matisse he gives his dad a present under the tree. Here's some extra gifts for the less fortunate.
It's just a plush tiger. It's just like a stuffed tiger.
It's a fence. Well, I guess you could play defense against us, so you might want this. Oh man, I'm sure they had some fun with it. Now I know they've coached against each other before. Back when John coached in Mineral Ridge, so and Tony coached at South Range, so they always have fun with it. They're a very competitive family, but the mutual respect was there. So congratulations to Springfield. I mean, that's a big program win. Like I said, it's been years of frustration of trying to get out from under McDonald's thumb, and they finally were able to do it last night. And some other teams that will have the opportunity to do that later in the season as well.
Yeah, and I mean, just congratulations, like you said, to the Lady Tigers are in order after a big win against McDonald.
I'm kind of excited now as the season goes on as we see that score for McDonald versus Western Reserve later in the season. Because in years past, it was kind of like Poland and South Range in the NE8. It was pretty much those two go at it, and the winner of that game, the winner of that season series, is going to take the MVAC. Now it's the winner of that game keeps pace and can try to keep their head above water in the MVAC. It might be a little bit more desperation, which will make that rivalry even better.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be interesting, too, because the MVAC Scarlet tier, like I said, there's still a lot of good teams. And right now, I mean, on top of what Springfield's doing, like I said, I think you got to be paying attention. Obviously, Jackson Milton's going to be tough, and so is Waterloo as well. So, I mean, there are definitely other teams you're going to have to pay attention for. I think Waterloo and Jackson Milton are having pretty good starts.
The only reason right now I give Springfield a little bit of the edge right now is like when we're talking the MVAC Scarlet tier. I think the depth of Jackson Milton and Waterloo is it can't not affect them against a really good team like Springfield.
It will, and I mean it's going to require good subbing out and making sure everyone gets a good amount of rest with those 7 players on each squad. But like I said, 7 on both Waterloo and Jackson Milton squads are very talented.
The catch-22 is like you can't take Chelsea Williams out of the game if you're Jackson. I mean, when you can, obviously you will. You'll find time. You're not going to make her play the whole time. Well, you could, but the point is when you take her out, all of a sudden who's running point, and then how does your offense flow without her running point?
Well, that's a thing that makes Waterloo more unique is because you have English and Couts that can both run points. So that's why I think Waterloo is a little bit better off, and Coach Loganecker does a great job of making sure those subs. He makes sure, Couts and English, I don't think really in the game I went to, at least, I don't think they ever sat at the same time and until it was like fourth quarter, end of game time. But that's what you're going to need to do, and that's where Waterloo's a little bit more lucky, or having 2 ball handlers that you could kind of fluctuate in and out. That's a big thing too for the Lady Vikings. And also Lily Foster can handle it as well. So it's like Waterloo has a few ball handlers that really makes it easier.
And to kind of answer my own question, of course, there were times when Kylie Wilson will run the point. You saw it, I saw it. But I feel like when I was watching Jackson Milton against United, and you can chip in when they played Brookfield, it was just kind of a different offensive set when she started with the ball. I feel like she had a harder time getting open off the ball. She's really good.
It's much more dangerous for me from wings to corners as a shooter, as a sharp shooter that's getting open and doing work off screens from wings to corners. That's where a lot of her strength seems to lie.
I think the biggest attribute, she is so good at getting open without the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And she needs a really good point guard to magnify that strength and feed into that strength. So when she has to be the point guard, she's very capable. It's not like it's a whole, oh my gosh, but I feel like that part of her game kind of loses its.
She loses her speed a little bit because she has to make sure she protects the ball. And I mean, when she loses her speed a little bit, it's a little bit harder trying to come off of screens and spot up as quickly. She has a quick release, but still just that extra second trying to get set up because you already have the ball off the dribble gives defenders a little bit of an extra opportunity to close out, and your shots that you're used to being a little bit more open that you're comfortable taking aren't there as much then anymore.
And the other thing that I think is going to hurt or be a disadvantage, I should say, when they play in Springfield. Springfield's a big team. I mean, J.C. Mullen, Maddie Lessing, they're both tall. They both have good size. Jackson, Milton, and Waterloo both cannot afford foul trouble. It just cannot. And it's hard to play solid defense against Springfield without fouling because there's such a size disparity.
But you know what? The funny thing was, too, against St. Thomas Aquinas, at least at the game I saw with Waterloo, definitely a clear height disadvantage for the Lady Vikings. I'm pretty sure Aquinas had a 6'1" girl or 6'2" on the roster. Waterloo had the rebounding advantage, and they do that by boxing out and getting rebounds over you. And I mean, English does a great job. Couts does a great job, and they have a little bit of height. But I mean, you talk about all the players that are on that team. They have well enough players to get in and get those rebounds, and they're scrappy players too. So I think the Scarlets here, I'm saying, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you that Springfield's definitely the deepest, and that's going to help them in trying to fight for the crown. But I do think you're going to see some resistance from these two teams that are 7 girls strong because they're going to figure some things out. Jackson Milton suffering a couple losses early on in the season, but I think the Lady Blue Jays will definitely have things figured out, and they're definitely not going to be pushovers. Blankafort, too, is, yeah, I agree. Blankafort is huge.
In that United game that she did get in foul trouble that me and Chris did together. That was one of the reasons why, United was able to keep it close for some time. Her on the floor is big, and I think Chelsea Williams on the floor is also big. So let's just point out, like, I'm not gonna because I don't know how good St. Thomas Aquinas post is. But let's just 6'1" does not mean great at basketball.
No. But all around, though, I mean, height advantages from 1 through 5 for everyone on Aquinas versus Waterloo.
To be honest, Waterloo's going to deal with that a lot because Rose is not the biggest player, neither is Kara.
But that's the thing, too, is they did a great job of really hands-off defense and not fouling it, and that's the thing that Waterloo's always done well. That's what makes me interested for those Springfield matchups because, yes, Springfield's going to have the height advantage, but I wonder if Waterloo's going to get in on those box outs sometimes, and I just wonder if there's going to be frustration caused because Springfield's probably going to catch some over the backs on some of these shorter teams, too, and I mean, that can cause some frustration, and you don't want to get your bigs into foul trouble either.
I'm very interested when Waterloo and Jackson Milton play each other.
That's going to be a great matchup too.
It's two teams that are dealing with kind of the same.
It's 14 fantastic basketball players in the NBAC all on the same court. Like that's going to be like a knock 'em down, drag 'em out, shootout type of basketball game that is going to be so fun to watch between the Lady Blue Jays and Lady Vikings.
And when Kylie Wilson hears shootout, she goes, "Oh, I can do that. I can do that." Absolutely. We're going to take our first break of the day, and we'll be back with more on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring. And, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Every one of our vehicles has undergone our own 126-point inspection, so it passes the most important inspection, yours. No other dealership has the extra inventory, gives you extra for your trade, and goes the extra mile for you. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
For a great vehicle and a great experience, come to Boardman Mitsubishi today. As always, our full lineup of Mitsubishi models comes with a standard 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Boardman Mitsubishi, your hometown Mitsubishi dealer since 1999.
Coca's Pizza, always supporting our community and our local athletes. Stop in on game day or score big and have it delivered right to your door. Check out our daily specials at cocaspizza.com. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell as we are joined, we are continuing this Friday episode. And Ty, good games last night and a lot of good games this weekend that we have to get to as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Anthony. As we look at the games on the slate for the entire weekend, we're going to be jam-packed from Friday to Sunday, filled with basketball.
Let's start these picks, and once again, you can fan pick along with us for the games today. You can fan pick along with us for the games tonight. That is just super confusing. You know what I'm getting at. On Twitter at Running Point YSN.
On the
Twitter.
As Anthony would call it.
Twitter just crashed and it's not helping.
The Twitter.
It heard me and it said, no, we're not working with you. So let's start with Austintown Fitch and Cardinal Mooney. We tied last night. So who gets to go first? I think the tie goes
Alternating possessions, just like basketball. So who broke the tie first time?
I think that's our first tie.
Okay, so you could keep first since you're in the lead. Next time we tie, I'll take it.
Whoa. Someone just turned our background into something else. Get out of here, gremlins.
But
Stay in your lane.
So we'll take you could have you could decide who goes first. I'll decide at the next tie. We'll go alternate.
I think it should just be if there's a tie, whoever's in the lead gets to decide.
Oh, I'm sure you like that right now.
I love that because I'm up 8 still. Austin Town Fitch Mooney, Ty, you go first. By the way, the fan vote is 69% Mooney and 31% Fitch.
Fitch has looked good, but Mooney's been impressive though this season, and that win against Harding was very good. It's at Mooney.
It's at Mooney.
Give me the Lady Cardinals on that one.
This is boys.
Or I mean Lady Cardinals. I mean boys.
You just completely backhanded the whole boys basketball.
I did. I'm sorry. We were talking girls basketball. I knew it was boys too. I know it's boys tonight, but we were talking girls basketball. But no, Mooney has been playing good. I was talking about this when I said they've been playing good on boys' side, but no, I mean regional final last year, and I mean it's that whole SVC season.
The girls basketball team is the one that just beat Warren Harding, by the way.
Yeah.
Not the boys.
I don't know why I had girls team on my mind right now. But we were talking about all of it with recaps.
It happens to all of us.
But no, Hergenrother is very, very good with Mooney too. I mean, they have great athletes over there. Fitch, I still think, I mean, they're being competitive. They looked really good against Poland the other night, I thought. But I mean, still, it's just like that fourth quarter closing games out there having trouble with. Mooney didn't have trouble with that last year. I don't think they're going to have trouble this year. I'll stay strong with the Cardinals.
No, I'm going to go with Mooney as well. I think they're going to get this win, especially at home. Against, like you said, I think this Fitch team is still, trying to find an identity.
Yeah, and I mean, it's life without Todd Simons because he was your ball handler 80% of the time. He got you out of trouble sometimes, but they still have great athletes. Deshaun Vaughn Jr., Gianni Maley. I mean, there's great guys that are stepping up now. Just got to put it all together, and I mean, they're learning how to play together. They're going to build chemistry, and they're going to get better as the season goes along, I believe.
I will say Deshaun Vaughn Jr. is on the all-name team for YSN.
I love Deshaun Vaughn Jr. He's a dog too on the football scene. He's not doing bad either on the basketball scene. He's been working with the team for quite some time. I noticed because he's been on the JV team since a freshman. So he's been a guy that's consistently been with the program. He knows the coaches, and I mean, so it's definitely it's a guy that's been working his tail off for the program for the last few years.
Up next, we have West Branch hosting Carrollton. The fans they're riding West Branch, but there are a couple of votes for Carrollton. It's 83% to 17%. West Branch leading the fan vote. I have first pick for this one, Ty. West Branch hasn't played the best basketball in the first 2 games of the year. Obviously, they've only had a handful of full team practices with the success of the football team. But they have guys that just know how to win. I don't think this will be a runaway. I think they're still going to, you can't just turn a switch and fix things in a matter of a couple of days. But they have guys that know how to make game-winning plays. So I'm going to pick West Branch.
So looking at this too, I mean, you got Drew DeShields still. I mean, you got Jackson Hendershot, and Coach Brown still does a great job getting the ball facilitated throughout these guys and trying to get everyone involved. I still got to go with West Branch in this one as well. I think the Warriors still will figure things out. Still great athletes over there. I got to give it to the Warriors in this one.
All right, next one. The Urban Scholars go to Garfield. This one, the same numbers, 83% to 17% on the fan vote on Twitter at Running Point YSN. Ty, it's your first pick, and Garfield's the home team. What do you got?
Give me Coach Oleski. Give me Anthony Dema. Give me the Garfield G-Men.
A demolition derby, I think, is going to happen in Garrettsville. Let's go with Garfield as well. The Urban Scholars, I'm going to give them credit. They look a lot better than they did last year, and they're obviously a pretty new program. They're trying to develop people. They were competitive against West Branch, only lost by 10. They were competitive against Lisbon. I don't think they're going to be a doormat to Garfield. I don't like they were in years past. So I think Garfield's going to get the win, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game is, one of those ones that maybe a 10 point, maybe 15 points, something like that. One of the ones where you can say the Urban Scholars really put a fight into the game.
Garfield has been lucky to be in some competitive matchups, notably with like Wyndham being a huge one that returned this year. So Garfield's looked good against a lot of different styles of offenses and offenses that can run. And if you could keep up with the run and you could go against a press, you could pretty much go up against anything too. As Wyndham threw press the whole time, but I've seen Garfield attack zone and it work out just as well. So yeah, I think the G-men are they look really good this year.
The G-men. We go to the EOAC next. Valley Christian is going to East Palestine. The fan vote has Valley Christian with a 67% to 33% edge on Twitter.
Yeah, Valley looked pretty well against Camel the other night, despite no Kevin Moore, but I mean still Valley looked pretty good putting up offense against them and were competitive there for a little bit.
My first pick, I believe, and I'm going to go with Valley Christian to get this win. We say this a lot about teams. I just think they're in a better spot.
John Trell Mixon's going to be a problem, I think, for the Bulldogs tonight. And if you let him get loose, he's going to be scoring a lot. Also, Joey Batista, those two on the inside rebounding dogs are like the towers right there. I mean, they do a great job on the inside blocks.
Mixon. Valley Christian gets the win. We both think so. And we'll move on to Sebring. They are hosting Kingsway Christian. This is a boys-girls doubleheader. So we'll pick both of them. They both have a 71% to 29% edge on the fan vote on Twitter. Both boys and girls, both polls have an edge to Sebring. So what do you think about this one? I guess we'll split this into two. You can pick the boys first. I'll pick the girls first.
Okay. Kingsway Christian boys team, I think, is 2-3.
That's a lot of games. A lot of boys basketball teams have like 3, so they've fit 5 already. They're going.
Yeah. You said fan vote is 71% for both of them?
Yeah, but both polls have 71% edge to Sebring.
This is also the second time in 8 days they're going to be playing Sebring. They just lost to Sebring the other day, I think. Give me Sebring in the boys' side.
All right, I will take Sebring as well. And then on the girls' side, you know what? I'll still wave the banner. I'll go with Sebring to get the win over Kingsway Christian on the girls' side.
Yeah, I'll stay with you. I'll say the same.
Stay with them Trojans. So we move on, and this will be your first pick. And it might be one of the better games of the evening. Lowville going to Heartland Christian on the road. The Rockets have a lead in the fan vote, 63% to 37%. And I think a lot of people are kind of, drawn back a little bit by the loss of Jackson Milton. But I wouldn't be if I was a Lions fan or if I was rooting for the Lions.
I wouldn't be either, but I've been really high on this Lowville team. I've been really high on this Lowville team in that tier since the start of this season. I've been excited for them. I'm excited for the height they're bringing. I'm excited Benovsky and Bologna and
Anthony Lucente.
Lucente. I mean, there's a lot of big names. You got big names. I love Coach Scott. I think Berdovich is always a threat, but I just got to give it to Lowville. I think Lowville has so many weapons on that team that they could beat you in so many ways. I'm going to go Rockets with this one.
I think the Rockets' edge tonight is going to be their size disparity. A lot of size down there. Anthony Lucente is going to have, I think, a field day down low. I don't think I don't think Heartland Christian has anyone that can really stop him in the paint. So I'm going to take Lowville to get the win as well in Heartland Christian. We go on next, and this one will be my first pick. And it is Jackson Milton coming off that buzzer beater win, going to Camel. Don't know if Kevin Moore is going to be in the lineup or not. So we'll just take that for a grain of salt. A lot of momentum for Jackson Milton. I think Camel's a different animal than Heartland Christian. I think they have more weapons, more ways to beat you, and I still think Camel gets the victory at home.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I mean, if I hope I get a chance to call this one again. So hopefully we'll see maybe if Kevin Moore's playing tonight. But if not, they looked really well, and Xavier Leonard did just as well, carrying the team through, getting the point totals he needed. And that gym is rocking, man. And when they get loud, they get loud. And that Camel side is always getting loud for that team. So it's going to be a hard atmosphere to win in on the road.
That student section gets creative too. I was doing their whole game against Hubbard. I don't know if you experienced this too, but they never had the same cheer twice.
No, they don't. And the greatest thing about it, I love how, because this first time I saw Camel's gym was this past Tuesday, and beautiful gym, by the way. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the layout of it. I love that the students are underneath all the fans right there on the court. So they're the ones that are right there in the player's ear the whole time, with the bleachers that are on the court, and then all the fans are up top. So you're hearing the students in your ear, and then you're hearing everything else from the fans over top of you. It must be a unique sound for the players.
I really like calling the game from the stage. I mean, you're right behind the action. You're right behind the hoop. It's a unique setup because most gyms don't have enough room back there to set up right behind the hoop. And down a little bit. I mean, some mezzanines are right behind the hoop, like at South Range, but you're way upstairs. So now you're kind of on their level, and you're right behind the hoop. It's a great place to call a game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic gym.
So we both picked Camel to win. And I'm sorry, Stephen Procopio. I know we had you on earlier this week.
Again. He's proven us wrong, and I'll say it just like I said against Heartland Christian when I picked against him last time, and he shut me up when with a great win, and Aaron Roma shut me up. But no, I never count out Coach Procopio and that blue. Jackson Milton will always bring a tough defensive squad, so they're going to be in your face and they're going to make it hard for you. They're not a pushover team.
If Roma hits another buzzer beater, he's pointing right at you. I'm calling.
If he Babe Ruths me before, it's like a timeout, and he points right at me, and he's like, "Watch this."
He hits it, and then instead of celebrating, he just looks at you and he goes like this.
I'll give him the call of the century if he points straight at me in a timeout and says, "This one's coming for you," and then wins the game. That'd be the call of the century. He'd get the call of the century. I mean,
he pulls out of the overtime. He goes,
"Watch." I mean, like, you hit a buzzer beater. I feel like you got to be like considered for big dogs. But if you hit two, like, that's an automatic. Like, you're already on big dogs like nominees. Then,
hey Ty, yeah, watch this.
Turns around, bang. Paul George commercial looks at me and says "ball game" before it goes in.
He just takes it before it even goes in. He's just looking right at you.
Screams it at the camera. If someone ever did that and they hit it, that would be the most cold-blooded thing I've ever seen. I would be sitting in a stunned silence, look at the camera and say "ball game."
Ball game.
You know it. The confidence you have in that, and not brick it, and not like just completely miss the shot. Because like I would have confidence, I'd say it, but I'd miss it. I'd be comfortable saying it, but I know it's going in.
It's almost like when Curry turns around before the shot even goes.
Yeah, cold-blooded. It's cold-blooded.
The next one is 100% on the fan vote, and they have 8 votes on the poll too. So a lot of people on polling, and Hubbard's coming to town as the Bulldogs look to get their second win of the year in their third game of the season. I believe it's your first pick. I picked Jackson Milton Camel first.
Yeah, Poland, I'm going to go with them as well. They were number 10 on the power rankings, and a lot of people were questioning that with an 0-1 record, and I felt the same. I felt they needed to win some games to kind of stay on the power rankings. They beat Fitch, and I think they earned their spot to be there, and I mean, a win against an NE8 opponent will certainly help their case in staying on the power rankings.
All right, we move on to...
I'm guessing you're picking Poland as well.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. I was just making sure. I figured you were, but I wanted to
pick Poland to win this game. Hubbard's just been struggling to score.
Yeah.
45 points in their first game, 48 points in their next game. They're trying to find ways to score, and that's not a good recipe to beat a very good defense in Poland. This one's interesting. A close fan vote. Ysn versus Boardman in Boardman. Right now, Ysn has the 55% to 45% edge.
And it's your pick, sir.
Well, to me, this is easy. I think Boardman's a better basketball team right now. I mean, I'm just flat out. I think they're a better basketball team right now, especially because still, Ysn they might have their football players back by now, but they couldn't have had very many practices. And Coach Gunther was right when he says that those guys don't get into basketball shape really until January. I think Boardman's on a roll, and they're going to be really hard to beat at home. I'm going to take the Spartans.
Yeah, I'll take Boardman as well on this one, as I think Boardman just at home, they've looked good, and winning a game against Cheney opening up like that was huge for them. So yeah, give me the Spartans.
We haven't split yet. This isn't entertaining streaming.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, go ahead and split with me if you want. You're the one that can take these risks. I'm making sure I stay within where I'm at striking distance.
Ty's a little gun shy. Your pick first next time for this one. And it is Southern versus Wellsville. Southern has 100% to 0 lead and 5 votes on the poll.
I was going to go with Southern on this one as well. Even though Wellsville's boys team has looked good in recent seasons, I still got to go with Southern. They usually produce pretty good teams down there.
You know what? Just because they're 100%. Like no one's believing in them.
He's gotta be there.
I gotta be Bug Thompson's gonna have a great coach team. I think he's gonna get the win at home in Wellsville. It's a hard place to play. Give me the Tigers to beat Southern.
You have a chance to keep getting points on me now.
I'm up by 8. I can take some risks. Crestview opens the Springfield Tigers season as they travel to Springfield. Right now, the Tigers have a 67% to 33% edge on the fan vote. And now this is my first pick. I'm getting all the hard games. I'm going to take Springfield in their home opener to beat Crestview.
I'll take Springfield as well. I think they're going to have a really good team this year.
Gun shy. That's all I'm saying. I have apartments and timeshares inside Ty's head. Lisbon versus Columbiana, Ty. The Clippers have an 80% to 20% edge on the fan vote. What say you?
That one's an interesting one. Because Lisbon has been looking decent. They've been looking pretty good. Columbiana. I'm gonna go with Lisbon in this one. I'm gonna go against the fans. Give me the Blue Devils.
Ooh, Quinn will like that pick. I'm gonna go with Columbiana. I'll split on you there too. Columbiana at home, and I'll do that Clipper clap too if they win.
I'm sure you will.
It's my bit. I can't go against.
Yeah.
This next one, my first pick, Struthers goes to Niles, and the fan vote has a lot of Struthers Wildcats in it. 86% to 14% lead for them right now on the Twitter fan vote. I don't know. Struthers obviously dropped the one to Mooney over the weekend. At home, this is in Niles. Niles beat Salem by 2. You know what? Give me the home team. I'll go with the Dragons to knock off the reigning champs in the Struthers.
Struthers just had that one game against Mooney, and they still looked pretty good. I gotta go with the old adage: until someone knocks them off in the division, in the conference, I can't pick against them. Go Cats!
See, now you're not gun shy anymore. I've coaxed you into a split.
Yeah,
This is exactly what I wanted. You've played right into my hands.
Yeah, go on.
You poor fool. Lakeview goes on the road against Jefferson, and the fan votes leaning towards the Bulldogs, 60% to 40%. I believe it's your first pick. Jefferson's a tough place to play, but it's a little bit closer for Lakeview. What do you think about this one?
Lakeview. I'm trying to think of. I know they just played Ursuline, and Ursuline looked really good against them. Trying to think of who all Lakeview's played this year. I'm trying to think of their opponents. I know they beat Champion early on. They had some hard games against Campfield and Howland, I think, too.
I don't think the boys played Ursuline. I think the girls did.
I thought the boys just did this past Tuesday.
I thought these schedules are really just meshing together at this point. But
I thought
they beat Howland, right? Or that was last Friday. You're right.
Yeah, I think boys.
You're right.
Boys Lakeview just played Ursuline. Yeah,
You're right. You're totally right.
but you're right that Lakeview girls also played Ursuline.
You're right. Yep, they both did.
Jefferson. I'm trying to think of what I've seen from Jefferson this year. You know what? Give me the Falcons. Give me the Falcons. I'll go Jefferson in this one.
You'll go Jefferson. I will go Jefferson as well. The home team, it's a hard place to play. I think Jefferson's a really good boys basketball team that's going to give a lot of people fits. Give me Jefferson. And we'll hold there. We'll hit a pause button. We'll take our next break. And when we come back, we'll continue our picks for tonight and tomorrow on Running Point.
Okay, so how does it feel to get your first win?
Brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Jimmy Sutman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and two of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet at Austintown. Anthony Hartwig alongside Ty Bartell. And Ty, before we continue our picks, we have some news concerning the game we just picked, Lakeview versus Jefferson. That game has been canceled, and there is no makeup date determined yet. So
unfortunate too, as it was a matchup that was going to be exciting inside the NE8, but one that hopefully they're going to have a makeup date, but one I think we'll still
have to. It's a league game.
Yeah, so we'll have another game with that, but unfortunately it's not going to happen tonight, but just stay posted for it.
So you can erase all that from your brain. All the picks and all the talk about that game for tonight. Just getting out of there, and we'll move on to the next pick, which I think is going to be a little bit more competitive than the fans think. Howland goes to Cheney. The fans have a 83 to 17% edge for Cheney. And I think Anthony Masucci is going to make this game pretty competitive.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a phenomenal talent in the area. I wonder, because Cheney's faced some tough opponents the last few games and has faced some pretty pretty big heart wrenchers late in the quarters of the fourth as Cheney faithful. Oh my goodness, a 50 to 49 loss to Boardman and a 71-70 win to Warren Harding. I mean, they've been at the edge of their seat.
They're on their AAC tour right now as they play Howland tonight. They played Harding and they played Boardman before.
And they played Fitch to open up. So, I mean,
they played Boardman on Saturday. So it's really just the AAC Grand Tour. They just have to play.
Canfield is the only one missing. Yeah. So, I mean, I still am going to go with Cheney in this one. I think Masucci's going to be phenomenal, but I think Cheney just has so many different weapons and so many ways to beat you. And I think in this one, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
I'm not going to split with you on this one. I'll go Cheney too. I think it's too much for Cheney to over Cheney to. I think Cheney is too much for Howland to overcome, and I think they get the win tonight. I mean, if it's close down the stretch though, Howland might have the advantage because I haven't been I haven't been impressed with the situational basketball and close games down the stretch for Cheney.
Yeah, but
two
I
turnovers that led to 2 buckets for Warren Harding, and they dodged the bullet with the kid's foot being on the line.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes that just happens, and I'm sure Coach McGahee is definitely not as happy as he wants with the defense right now. But honestly, it's something that you can adjust. I think Isaiah Williams is still a phenomenal point guard, and I mean I think as long as he's going and getting it to the other guys, I mean the bigs are able to eat on the inside.
I'll take Cheney in this one. South Range goes to Girard. Right now, the Raiders have a 60% to 40% edge on the Indians, and this one's tough too. And it's my first pick. South Range started putting together a little bit against West Branch, but still didn't score above 50. They need games to get ugly for them to win. But Girard plays ugly. They obviously beat Ursuline 49 to 47. I think Girard's style of play goes right into the hands of what South Range wants to do. I think they get their first win on the road.
I'll split with you. Give me Girard.
Do you have a why, or do you just want to split with me?
I feel Girard at home, and you're right, they looked good against an Ursuline team, albeit they didn't have their football players back for that Ursuline team. But Girard is still a team that is scrappy, and defensively they looked good against Ursuline. So give me Girard in this one. I think South Range looked good against West Branch. You're right, but I don't know if they're going to have it completely figured out or not. We'll see.
Up next, United goes to Latonia, and United has a 60% to 40% edge in the fan vote tie. This is your pick.
Count me in a part of that 60%. I'm going to go United on this one as well.
Oh, it just moved to 50-50. Toss up. A vote just came in.
Well, go ahead and throw it back up for United because I'm on the vote for them.
I feel like a correspondent to CNN selection coverage. Vote just came in. It's moved to 50-50, and we have a tight race coming down in the Hanoverton voting. I'll pick United as well. So give them I don't even know what that'd be 8 votes. Well, what would be 8 votes? And it would be what if they're split 6-6? It would be 5 out of 8. I'm not good at math. I don't know what percentage that is.
5 out of 8. That would be over 50, obviously.
Oh, duh. I have to use calculator. 62%, 63% if you round up.
So there you go. United back up there.
There you go, United. Right back up there. Right back up there. I believe that does it for today. I'm going to double check, and I'm going to go back and recap so we know we're on the same page. One of the reasons that we didn't do yesterday, and I kind of slipped my mind on what we picked last night momentarily. This is as much as recapping our picks is for us to be on the same page and not fight about who picked what. It's also for my memory banks. So we both picked Sebring boys and girls to win, right?
Yes.
Okay. We both picked Mooney to beat Fitch.
Yes.
Both picked West Branch to beat Carrollton.
Yes.
We both picked Springfield to beat Crestview.
Yes.
We both picked Cheney to beat Howland.
Yes.
Both picked Hubbard to beat Poland.
Yes.
Both picked Camel to beat Jackson Milton.
Yep.
We both picked. No, we split on this one. Split. You take Lisbon, I take Columbiana. You good with that?
Yep.
Both pick Lowville to beat Heartland.
Yep.
We split. I take South Range. You take Girard.
Yep.
Southern. We split. I take Walesville. You take Southern, right?
Yes.
Yep. Struthers and Niles. We split on this one too. I took Niles. You took Struthers.
Yep.
Both take United.
Uh-huh.
And both take Garfield.
Yep.
Did you pick Ursuline? You picked Ursuline, right?
And what was their matchup?
Boardman?
No, I picked Boardman.
Okay, so we both picked Boardman, and we both picked Valley Christian.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on the same page for tonight's games, and that means we can move on to tomorrow, since we obviously won't be on the air tomorrow, and we can pick the weekend games as well. And it starts with Matthews at Heartland Christian. What do you think about this one?
Matthews doesn't look terrible either this year. This is at 11 a.m. too.
11 a.m. Mark Franken with the call in Heartland.
So we start off early at Saturday.
Yep, we get it kicking, and we have it rocking through. Our latest game that night is going to be 7 o'clock, so we're kicking all the way to 7.
I feel like Matthews and Heartland are like similar positions right now.
Under pressure. That's what you are right now. First pick, you're sweating. I can see it.
Oh, yeah. Sweating bullets.
Sweating bullets, man. Sweating bullets.
Heartland's played a lot of games, though, early on in this season. They've gotten a decent amount under. Give me Matthews.
All right. I thought you swerved Heartland right there, I think. Your train of thought was heading towards Heartland, and you just went and said Matthews. I'll take Matthews as well. I think Matthews is going to go on the road and get this win. This one is going to be good, man. This one is probably the game of the day on the girls' side. Marlington, we know how good they are. They go to Salem. A big test for the Quakers' defense.
And it's your pick first.
I know it is, and it sucks. You know what? Salem's defense is just so good, and I don't think Marlington has enough spread out weapons to beat that defense. I think they're too reliant on Chelsea Evanich. So I'm going to go with Salem to get the win, especially at home.
Yeah, Lady Quakers, if there's a will, there's a way on defense, and they'll find a way. Give me Salem tonight, or Saturday, rather.
Salem is so fast on defense. Like, it's unreal how quick they are. And they're gonna be tough to run against. They're gonna be tough to transition against. Even if they have a live ball turnover, there's tough. Ty, you have a girls' game on Saturday. By the way, DJ Oakley calling that Salem game at 1:30 tip. This one will be a 1:30 tip as well, as Struthers goes to Fitch. Your first pick.
You know what? I think the Lady Falcons have been doing pretty well against teams that are competitive. I mean, I don't think they look terrible against West Branch either. I thought West Branch just had the height advantage and they were a little bit outmatched, but it's a young team that's getting better and is learning as they go. I think with the home matchup in this particular one, I'm going to go with the Lady Falcons over Struthers at home.
Sorry, my mic was down. I'll rock with you with that one. I think Fitch. I keep using this, but I think Fitch is in a better spot, especially since I don't know if Struthers is still going to be limited to 6 people rotating on Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing. I don't know their roster situation either, and I know Fitch has a pretty deep bench that they can rely on right now.
The Casual Sports Podcast crew going down to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse for Crestview versus Brookfield at 2:30 in Cleveland. Matt Morrison and Alec Caberna on the call. This was a rival last year. Crestview won both the regular season games, and then Brookfield knocked them off in the tournament, ended their season. And it's my first pick again. Oh, jeez. Give me Brookfield.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to go Lady Warriors on that one. I think they have a lot of weapons, and I think they've been looking pretty good this season.
This one's part of a boys-girls doubleheader in Canfield. Mooney and Canfield girls will start the action at 3:30. This one will be called by CJ Schroeds and Noah Dye.
This is a matchup between two power ranked teams, isn't it?
Canfield
girls.
I don't think the Mooney girls are ranked.
Okay, Mooney girls are just outside then,
Mhm.
because I know we were talking about it. Okay, I thought, but it's still a matchup between two cards.
Canfield's numero uno though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stick with Canfield for that exact reason. Give me Canfield and the Lady Cardinals over there.
Yep, I'm right with you. Give me Canfield all the way. I think they're just too much for Mooney to handle. Mooney got the win earlier this week against Warren Harding. They seem to be kind of up and down. You can't really figure out where they're going to land, which makes them tough to pick because if they play to their caliber, then they could be good. But, we'll see. Valley Christian hitting the road to McDonald, who is trying to bounce back from that loss to Springfield. This is a 4:15 tip, and Ian O'Brien will be on the call.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with gimme McDonald in this one and the bounce back at home.
I like that pick. I do. I think McDonald, their defense is good enough to hold Valley Christian down, I think. I like that pick. This one's going to be good. Louisville goes to Howland. Noah Ricks and Brian Oatridge will be on the call for this one. Man, it's hard to pick against Louisville. But Howland, they've played a really tough schedule. They're going to be prepared for this one.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Howland's not a pushover team ever in basketball, and it's Coach Pounds is going to have those girls ready for sure.
Finally, it's my first pick against a tough game again. See, I swerved, and I thought I made the audience think it's going to be your first pick for a tough game to pick. But nope, it's back to me. Can't pick up against Louisville right now. The way they're playing, the role they're on, Leopards are going to get the win at home.
I'm right there with you. And I mean, Louisville, I think, is definitely, in my mind, fighting for that number one seed in power rankings and might be on their way to take it. And I think this would go a long way to proving why they should. Give me Louisville.
All right, the last girls' game that is happening in the area on Saturday is a part of the United Way Classic in Poland. This will not be on the network, but it is happening. And it is Poland taking on West Branch. And finally, it's your first pick. Now I
This one is
this one's a tough one to pick.
Ridiculously tough.
Yeah.
Canfield beat West Branch.
They smothered West Branch
pretty well defensively too. And you know what? For that reason.
But I don't want to talk out of your pick, but remember, Canfield has size.
Yeah,
it does too, but their press is not tall.
No, press is not tall, but they're going to smother you just as well. Oh, I hate going against either of these coaches too, because I think Coach DeShields and Coach Blanche are two of the best in the area. It's at Poland.
It's at Poland, and it is going to be starting at roughly 3:30. They are the third game on the slate of the United Way Classic.
Can't go against Poland at home. Give me the Lady Bulldogs. It's hard. That was hard. That's a tough one because that's 50-50 for me, honestly. Because Coach DeShields does a fantastic job, and they're going to be so good this year too.
You know, you're right. They have been really good. They're still young. I can't look past the games that they've dissed. They've been inconsistent. They've looked really good, but then they almost lose to winless Carrollton. It's like at home. I can't overlook the youth of this team. I think they're going to struggle being in this environment. It's going to be a rocking place because there are going to be fans from, obviously the game prior, the next game after that. I think there's going to be a loaded field house. I think West Branch is going to travel well. It's going to be a great atmosphere. But I just have to pick Poland because they're a little bit more experienced and they're going to make a little bit more of a – they've been consistent. They've been the consistent team so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is definitely one that this is going to be for Poland's sake. Yeah, they're very deep too. So I'm going to go with Lady.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Blanche rotated 10 players almost consistently last night. That's deep.
Yeah, For sure. And I mean, he's not afraid to go deep into his bench either. So,
All right, let's go to boys basketball. It starts at noon in the United Way Classic, the first game of the day down there in Poland. Once again, these games will not be on our network, but they are happening, and you can go down to Poland. You can support a great cause by going down there, giving them revenue, buying the raffle tickets, buying the 50-50. It goes to United Way, which is helping out our valley. So Boardman versus Cheney actually, the first one is Salem versus Girard chronologically. So 12 o'clock, Salem versus Girard at Poland, boys basketball. Girard is playing Friday, so they'll be playing their second game in 2 days. I don't believe Salem has a game tonight. If they do, it's not on our coverage.
and I believe this is your pick first, too.
It is. I am going to take Salem to get the win.
I'll agree with you on Salem as well.
When you look at Salem, I just think like the girls, they play really good defense for boys basketball. They have the height, they have the size, they're going to dominate the post a little bit. And I think they're just a veteran team. I think they're going to get this win on a neutral court. That's really important to be a veteran leader-filled team when you're playing on a neutral side. So I think Salem gets that one. And you pick Salem as well, right?
Yes.
All right. The next boys game on the slate, 1:45 tip, roughly. It'll probably be around 15 minutes after the conclusion of Salem versus Girard. It's round 2 of Boardman versus Cheney, and this is your first pick. So you can mull through this one.
This one is tough. This one is going to be a very, very good game. I'm going to go initially.
Yeah.
I had a gut feeling, but I was going to go with my gut feeling, but my gut feeling went 50-50 to both teams initially. I mean, I went right down the middle. Boardman and Cheney. I mean, Boardman, number 1 versus what? Number 2 at this point. This is one versus 2
in power rankings.
Oh, man. Cheney's been so close. Boardman has that big win. I took Boardman for tonight, but I'm gonna take Cheney for tomorrow. Give me the Cowboys tomorrow in round 2. I think they get some revenge.
And they'll both be playing their second game in 2 days, which is always tough in basketball. I think how those games go might dictate how the Saturday games goes. I mean, if Cheney gets in a running match, obviously, can they recoup and regather themselves by Saturday afternoon? Same thing for Boardman. I think the style they play tonight and how deep they can go in their bench tonight might go into how much they can succeed tomorrow against, obviously, a very evenly matched game. You pick Cheney. Man, this is Boardman won in Cheney by 1. So this is literally a toss-up.
I mean, that's what, and like the end of the game could have went either way too. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think Cheney has a tougher time tonight, which makes them a little bit more tired than Boardman.
It could be, and I mean, that's a risk.
Me, Boardman.
That's a risk I'm willing to take, but that's 50-50 as we already seen, and Boardman could very well go 2-0 in this matchup.
And it's only natural that we split during the 50-50 matchups, right? The toss-ups we have to split.
Yeah, as one more matchup, and your pick.
One more boys matchup is United Way Classic. There's a couple more games that we'll pick after that.
Well, yeah, one more Saturday matchup.
LeBray at Poland. This is the final game of the United Way Classic at Poland. And it's a 5:15 roughly start time. LeBray, Poland, this is my pick. This is going to close out the big day at Poland. I can't pick against the Bulldogs in a big community-driven night.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Poland as well. I think you can't pick against Poland in that.
Okay, so now we go back up to games that are happening at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on Saturday 1st. Newton Falls will be playing Wyndham, and it'll be Matt Morrison and Alec Caberna on the call from Cleveland. This game is going to tip off at 4 o'clock. And this is a boys matchup that is very interesting, Ty, and it's your first pick, too.
I'm going to go with the Bombers all the way. I think Wyndham has looked very good. I think McKylan Jones is fantastic. I think Chase I looks really good. I think the team moves so much off ball wise. Bombers have looked good. They lost just barely to Garrettsville, and that Garrettsville team had a lot of size, a lot of depth to them. But I still got to go with the Bombers and what they've been able to bring to the table.
Man, this I honestly don't think I've seen a lot of Newton Falls. This might be like their second game. I'm gonna go with you. I can't pick against Wyndham. They have big playmakers. They had chances to beat Garfield last week. Give me the Bombers. The last game on Saturday.
This one's not going to be easy for you.
Is part 2 of the doubleheader, girls-boys doubleheader. It's Cardinal Mooney at Canfield for the boys' side. This is a power rankings matchup. I want to confirm the numbers of the teams in the power ranking. I believe it's 7 versus 5, but I'm going to look real quick. It's 7 versus 5. Yeah. So Canfield's 5, Mooney's 7. 7 o'clock. A little bit of a gap between the girls and the boys, so you have a chance to go watch the girls, go get a bite to eat, come back and watch the boys. Canfield at home. Give me the Cardinals at home to win this game.
Canfield Cardinals?
Yeah, Cardinals at home. It's at Canfield.
Okay. The Canfield boys team did beat Marlington, and Marlington is usually a solid group. Mooney's down. I mean, it's just they're playing up a division, though, and that's the thing. Mooney's great, and they're fantastic in their division, and they're good outside of their division, but this Canfield team's really good, too. I got to go with Canfield as well, especially being at home.
I thought you'd split. I thought you'd take the risk and split with him.
I was thinking about taking the risk, but the voice of Richie Giuliano at Canfield behind the cards, I got to go with Canfield.
By the way, Richie will be on the call for that one, so he'll be able to make the 7 o'clock game. Reminder that the first game of that doubleheader will be called by C.J. Schroeds and Noah Doty. So both games will be covered, 2 different broadcast teams. And now we have to actually go to Sunday because we do have a couple of Sunday games from Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. First one, Ty, it's your first pick since I had to go and pick Canfield and Mooney first. This is boys, and it is Canfield versus Louisville at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse at 1 o'clock. Richie Giuliano and Anthony Romo will have the call for this one. That, by the way, is a studded, star-packed broadcast team. Tip-off's at 1 o'clock. I don't know if I said that. 1 o'clock.
I got to go with I'm going to go with Louisville just because Canfield's playing the night before.
Reminder that Louisville lost to Alliance on Tuesday. I'll take Canfield to get the win. I think they're just a more well-rounded team. I think their size is going to be able to handle Louisville's size. So give me Canfield. I'll split with you right there. Next one at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse tips off at 3 o'clock, and it is Lowville versus Camel. Ty, you're going to have the call on that and replace Richie and Anthony in Cleveland. Boys, I believe the boys are second in that game, so boys will tip off at 5.
Yeah, so girls game first. I'll take Lowville in the girls side of things.
Oh, we're picking the boys first.
The girls are at 3.
Boys I know, but we're in boys basketball right now. You got the first pick for the boys.
Well, I'm going Lowville girls, Camel boys. So I'm splitting either way down the middle.
You just completely ruined the whole flow of this pick.
You wanted me to pick boys. I picked boys. I
got the first pick for both of them.
Yeah.
You just snuck that right in there, cheater. I'm deducting you a point for that. No, I'll take Lowville girls and I'll take Camel boys. I'm right with you. And we do have a night game on Sunday as East Liverpool will be at Lincoln Park, not the band. Tommy Pease will have the call at 7 o'clock. Ty, this is our last pick for the weekend. And I'm going to pick East Liverpool. They've been on a roll for the boys, and I think they'll be able to break the habit.
Yeah, I'll go East Liverpool as well.
I didn't know if I'd be able to fit a Linkin Park song into that, but it was sketchy. I don't know how well it fits, but I had to fit something on the fly. So you take East Liverpool too?
Yes, sir. I take the Potters.
All righty, Potters. Scared Potter, you wish. Let's go and recap our Saturday picks so we're both on the same page, and there are no arguments. Because we are civil here at Running Point. Kind of. Chump. Matthews at Heartland Christian. We both pick Matthews. This is girls basketball, just making sure we're on the same page.
Yes.
Both pick Matthews. We both pick Salem to beat Marlington.
Yes.
Both pick Fitch to beat Struthers.
Yes.
We both picked Brookfield to beat Crestview at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
Yes.
We both picked Canfield Girls to beat Mooney.
Yes.
We both picked Poland to beat West Branch.
Yes.
We both picked McDonald to beat Valley Christian.
Yes.
Both picked Louisville to beat Howland.
Yes.
Now moving to boys basketball for Saturday. We both picked Salem to beat Girard.
Yes.
We both picked Poland. We both picked Poland to beat LeBray.
Yes.
And we both picked. Well, no, we split. We split on this one. I picked Boardman. You picked Cheney.
Yes.
We both picked Wyndham to beat Newton Falls.
Yes.
And we both picked Canfield to. No, we split on this one, didn't we? You picked Mooney. Or did we both pick Canfield?
No, I picked Canfield on that one. I picked Louisville.
For the boys.
Yeah, Canfield.
All right, so we split on the next Canfield game. My bad. This is why we do this. It's helpful for me to remember. So on the boys' side on Sunday, you picked Louisville. I picked Canfield.
Yes.
And then we both picked Lowville girls.
Yes.
We both picked Camel boys.
Yes.
We both picked East Liverpool boys on Sunday night.
Yes.
Now we have info coming in. There are other games this weekend. The Boardman girls have 2 games at Hoban on Saturday. So they're going to be playing at Hoban on Saturday. 2 games. They have the first game at Hoban will be against St. Joseph Academy, and that will be at 5:40 on Saturday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm sorry. So 5:40 on Saturday at Akron Hoban, Boardman and St. Joe's Academy.
Trying to. I don't even know. I got to see what St. Joe's has even done this season. Close ones. I don't know. I don't. Yeah, go ahead and give me Boardman in that first one.
Boardman, okay. They get the win there. And then they have to play Hoban on Sunday at 5.
I go Hoban in that
Yeah,
one.
I am so sorry, Boardman, but the Hoban's one of the best teams in the state, period. I think they have a good chance to win the Division I state championship. Let's see. I want to make sure we didn't miss any of these girls' games on the road or anything. Jefferson County Christian at Wellsville. This is a girls' game on Saturday.
Isn't it your first pick? Yeah, it's your first.
This is my first pick. I'm going to pick Wellsville to get the. Well, you know what? I'll pick Jefferson. I don't know. I want you to pick first so I can just.
Yeah, I picked first the last two.
I know, I hate it. Oh man, I'll pick Jefferson County Christian.
Yeah, I'll do the same. I don't think they've played yet this season, but we'll have to see what they're bringing to the table. I think that's gonna the surprise factor of what they're gonna have is gonna be interesting.
Cheney hosts Warren Harding on Saturday as well for girls.
Give me Warren Harding. They looked really good despite the loss.
I'll take Warren Harding as well, and I believe those are the only two we missed. Looking. We got that one. Got Boardman's. Got Mooney at Canfield. Yeah, those are it. So that does officially wrap up our picks. And I think we split on, if I'm not mistaken, 5 games total.
I believe so, yes.
Which means you still can't lead after this weekend because you're still in a hole.
I can make up some ground. That's all I need.
Could be down by as much as 13.
Long season, we'll get there.
Sneaky. It's a long season, but if you're down by 13, that's a big gap to make up, Ty.
We'll get it. We'll be fine.
I think you're like Ross and Friends. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
I'm fine. Everything is fine. You're like that meme of the dog that's in a room that's on fire drinking tea. This is fine. And that's your brain right now.
Yeah, we're all good.
We're all good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Anthony's just whipped my butt. That's okay. Everything's fine.
By 8.
I took it when you had the lead. You had your little sheriff emojis all night. Yeah. So now I'm dishing out hard. I was going to be civil during this competition.
We'll get it.
Oh yeah. You'll get nothing but L's. That's the wrong hand.
You'll see.
Oh, it is right hand
tonight.
Nothing but L's.
Little by little, I'll chip away.
Chip and Dale, because you're nothing but a chipmunk. We're going to take a quick break, and on the other end, we will continue Running Point on YSN Live, brought to you by Greenwood, Chevrolet, and Austintown.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, shop with confidence knowing we're ready to go the extra mile for you. With the largest selection of used vehicles in the Valley, backed by the Greenwood Advantage Warranty. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience, WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSwealth.com. Good luck, athletes.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
Coca's Pizza, proud to announce our pizza buffet's back every Wednesday at our Boardman and Canfield locations. Adults only $7.99 and kids only $4.99, and $2 beer starting at 8 o'clock. That's Coca's Pizza. We serve it hot.
Every customer has a story, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. And Anthony Hartwig with Ty Bartel. We want to also remind you that the comment section, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch, you can comment with us. And that is brought to you by Boardman Mitsubishi. We love comments, especially on Friday when we want to know who you guys think will win these games tonight and tomorrow and Sunday for this weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of great matchups going on over the course of the weekend and a lot of great basketball games that are going to be happening. So if you can't make it out there and you have nothing to do over the weekend, we got you covered with all kinds of matchups.
Todd, we have one more game to pick. Edison boys are traveling to Toronto tonight.
Yeah, give me the Wildcats in that one. I'll go Edison.
I'm going to split with you. Let's make another split. Take Toronto.
All right.
Toronto. So that will do it. That would now I think I can say very confidently that'll do it for our pick. I know I've said that like twice already in this segment, but I feel like that will do it for the picks.
We'll see. And a lot of them.
There'll be another score that pops in the next 7 minutes or something.
Probably. Most likely.
All right, Ty. So what game are you most looking forward to this weekend? To watch, obviously you're calling a couple too.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Camel twice. I think not only this Camel game tonight against Jackson Milton is going to be fun, but I think going to Rocket Mortgage and seeing Camel versus Lowville boys action is going to be so fun. That's going to be two teams that I think are really going to be solid this year.
Let's talk about that. You get to go down to Cleveland. That was a very rude interruption. You get to go down in Cleveland and you get to... You good?
Yeah, what was that though?
Okay, I don't know what that was.
What was that noise?
That wasn't me.
I don't think it was me.
It had to be you because it wasn't me.
I have nothing. I have no tabs though that are making noise on my thing.
Yeah, some serious tabs. So to go down in Cleveland and get to call a game at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and what do you think it means to these teams that get to play on this? There are a couple of times when we've seen the state championships where players get to walk on the field that they know professionals get to walk on. Now these basketball players get to walk on a court that they know that professionals step on.
That some of the greatest players of all time have stepped on. That some NBA finals games have been played on that same exact court in that same exact arena. So
tears have been shed.
Yeah, tears have been shed and pain and at least finally triumph at one point. But there's definitely a lot of history that's gone on there in the last 20 some odd years since Rocket Mortgage, previously the Q, and so it's definitely it's definitely a cool opportunity for these high school students to be able to go out there and just play on that court and get that experience.
You can't practice for that. Obviously, it's going to feel a lot different. The depth perception is going to be a lot different at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse than it is your average high school gym. I think shooting for every one of these teams is going to be below average for their season, shooting percentage, because it takes a minute to get used to that depth perception.
It does, and you'll see some kids shine though in it too. Some kids love the light.
That's why I'm kind of leaning towards changing my pick in that boys game to Lowville.
Oh, you're gonna make a change this late now.
I don't know if I am, but
Go on, take the change. Pull the trigger.
No. I'm gonna stick with the rules and the rules that we've established, that you can't change after that confirmation recap. But I just said that point about the shooting, and all of a sudden I'm thinking Camel likes to shoot from the outside a lot, and Lowville
They can drive.
They can drive, absolutely, but they do shoot pretty well from the outside, which helps. Lowville really likes to, more so than Camel, likes to drive and feed the post, which is a lot easier when you're not worried about depth perception. So, but I'll stick with the Camel. I'm not gonna break the rules. But all of a sudden, I think that game will get really, really interesting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, like I said, one of the premier matchups this weekend.
And then, you get to call a game at Rock. How excited are you for that? To be able to be.
It's exciting too. I mean, getting a chance to do it last year too. It was very fun doing it last year.
I forgot you did it last year.
Yeah,
so it's not even your first experience.
Yeah, but I'm excited this year because I think it'll be a little bit more open to some more people attending. So it'll be cool having a little bit more fans in attendance supporting these kids in these schools.
And this isn't the only weekend of games at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse either. There are also some games next weekend as well.
Yeah, as Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse always having games going on.
So a total of 17 games on the network tonight. You cannot miss a single minute of it. I'll go through the games that we will have coverage for. Tonight, it'll be obviously the Sebring boys-girls doubleheader. Fitch at Cardinal Mooney, United at Latonia, Hubbard at Poland, Jacksonville at Camel, Lisbon at Columbiana, Struthers at Niles, Lowville at Heartland Christian, South Range at Girard, Southern at Wellsville, Valley Christian at East Palestine. We'll have Carrollton at West Branch, Crestview at Springfield, Howland at Cheney, and Ursuline at Boardman. So do not miss a second of any of the action. It can all be found at ysnlive.com/live. And, it's all free thanks to our wonderful sponsors.
Yeah, we thank our sponsors obviously for everything they do to help bring all these games and all this coverage to our wonderful area fans for absolutely free. And without our sponsors, we couldn't have had any of this be possible too. So we obviously thank all of them.
What a perfect segue to just remind people that if you do want to advertise with YSN, it's really easy. Go to ysnlive.com/advertise. There's a nice form there that breaks down all the packages we have, and you just fill out the form at the bottom of that. And it's that simple to get yourself and your name and your company and your logo out to hundreds of thousands of people at YSN. I mean, we have 17 games airing tonight alone, and your logo, your commercial, your name would be out there for all of them.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity too, and I mean, you get a chance to reach a lot of different communities too that definitely are loyal to the companies that bring them these games too, and help support their student athletes.
Small businesses, man, you got to support them when you can. I know that's been a drive for the last couple of months in the country as a whole to support small businesses because they're struggling with all the pandemic, but we could not echo that much more. A lot of our sponsors are small businesses, and we want our listeners and our audience to be loyal to the people that are loyal to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we absolutely thank all of our sponsors and thank all of our viewers too. And it's all about supporting each other here. And we love everybody that comes along to support us, and we love giving the support right back out to them.
So it's going to be a great weekend on the network, and it all starts tonight with basketball at 17 games. Plenty of games on tomorrow and Sunday. You have some games on Sunday as well. So the whole weekend is taken care of for YSN, and that'll do it for me and Ty for today. We're going to take I always do the math wrong, 70-hour break, as we will be back on Monday from 12 to 2. Casual Sports Podcast coming up next from 2 to 3. Power Hour from 3 to 4, and then 17 games on the network tonight. ysnlive.com/live is where you can find the links to all those games, and it's the easy way to find where your favorite team is playing.
Yep, tune into the network too. If you can't make it to the school, we'll have you covered.
We will definitely have you covered. We're gonna have you covered like the snow's about to have us covered in a couple of weeks. Oh, I shouldn't have said it. It's depressing. All right, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Tune into a lot of basketball over the weekend, and we will see you on Monday from 12 to 2.